Frank, that's the biggest roar I've heard all week long. That was an eagle roar.
For good reason, not just an eagle too. All of a sudden, back in contention.
There you have it. Round 3 is finished, and it was a good one, Frank.
Yeah, after 3 rounds in, you really could start to see who could take home the trophy when it's all said and done. Great play, though, up until this point. Round 4 should be an absolute thriller.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live final round coverage of the Boston Championship. Hello again and welcome. I'm Rich Lerner alongside my friend and colleague Frank Navila. We're at the TPC Boston here in Massachusetts. And Frank, what kind of a golf course are we facing today?
Big golf course, very much a sort of inland link style. Gil Hands and Brad Faxon. They've tweaked it over the last few years. It's been a staple on the FedEx Cup playoffs since 2007.
That's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
Frank, this is a way to make golf easy when you can hit it that deep.
Oh, I'm going to say, I know that first number's a 3. I'm guessing the second one's a 2. Let's call it 320.
Good chance at one. Oh, just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. Putting on a show, this tournament moves to 15 under par. Back here at the par 4 14th, ready to tee off. This is a big dog leg to the left. 495-yard hole, Frank.
Yeah, don't try and hug that left side too much. There's a bunch of little mounds, and the chances of getting a good lie there, next to none.
Great strike and a great result. Sitting up, good chance to attack the flag.
Second shot.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid.
It was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back?
He's set up for his third shot here, looking to get it on the green with this. Midway through this back nine, could use this birdie here at the 14th. Clean this up with a tap. Beautifully done. Nice birdie. Settled over the ball here at the 15th, 421 yards on this par 4.
Uphill, you can see everything that you have to avoid. Find the green grass. Going for a little extra.
Right out of the center of the bat.
Did you hear that?
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Settles in, looking to knock it in tight. This has really been impressive. Started off slowly, just didn't have a whole lot, but kind of hung in there, fought when it wasn't going their way, and now here they are with a few birdies, really playing well at the closing stretch. Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. No problems there.
Yeah, keeps the round going, keeps the momentum on his side.
Moving on to 16 now. This is one where you sort of lick your chops, Frank, because it's pretty short, 161 yards. Where's the challenge here?
Where the fish go. That big lake on the left, that's the challenge.
Oh, look out. This could be wet, Frank.
It's heading towards the hazard.
Just averted danger right there. So close.
Why does he have all the luck?
Birdie here yesterday, trying to do it again today. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. All right, you want to bring it home in style. You want to finish with a flourish. 412-yard, par 4 17th. What's the way to play it?
Just head it down the right side. You don't really want to mess with that sort of rock crop bunkers down the left side. All sorts of bad things happen if you finish there.
Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
That'll be from about 90 yards away. This is a good-looking shot. Just a beautiful approach shot. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. Frank, the 18th here at TPC Boston, for whatever reason, generates quite a bit of buzz, doesn't it?
It does. The longer hitters, obviously, they lick their chops. They're having a chance to make this green in two. But if you find one of the fairway bunkers, the addition of that pot bunker for the layup, that just makes that decision that much more difficult.
Well, those are good numbers right there. 320, 320 yards, just crushed it in the fairway. Frankie could make eagle right here with a really good approach shot.
Yeah, well within his reach, too. And, Rich, if we just sit back and relax here, I think we're going to see perhaps a very good look at eagle coming up.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
That was like Usain Bolt, Frank, right through the tape.
Yeah, that first step, that was never going to stop.
Ready for his third shot. Needs to hit this close. Great way to finish off the final approach shot with a birdie opportunity to win the Boston Championship. Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
And he makes it for par. That's why you play the game, to stack up the wins. Great effort right there. presented by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Welcome to the home of the Wells Fargo Championship, where the likes of Rory McIlroy, Ricky Fowler, and long-hitting J.B. Holmes have all won. It was first opened for play in 1961. It has really grown through the years, and it is now played by the best in the world. Rich Loader alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports. Let's jump down to the golf course. Outstanding strike right there, right off the center of the club face, and a good chance for birdie. Settles in over the putt. Comfortably inside the cut line. Back over to number 7. Frank, I've really enjoyed watching our featured golfer to this point. Superb play through the early portion of the round. Now we get to this kind of middle section. Frank, what's the key to maintaining that momentum?
Well, not just maintaining, Rich. An opportunity here to turn good into a great round.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards. Good swing, good shot yet again. That was a big, bold strike, and now a chance for a big, bold move. Putt for eagle coming up. Good putt and a good move. Now to 4 under. Here at Quail Hollow, just 350 yards. Frank, players can lay it up and just hit a little baby wedge.
Oh, he's winding this one up. Does he have the power, though?
Are you kidding me? Come on, you can't hit a ball that hard.
That is crushing it beyond all crushing. Huge with a capital H.
Moved it a long ways.
Oh, that's it. New member of the 300-yard club.
Good poke right there. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Solid. These putts keep the round together. They're very impressive and on the move right now. Frank, this is a really good way to finish out the front side here at Quail Hollow. 495-yard par 4.
Yeah, it's the longest par 4 at Quail Hollow. Some say it might be the toughest. I'm not quite in that. The reason why that green slopes in from both sides, the left and the right. But you can see why good drivers have done well here, because there's a big reward for thumping a big, long, straight drive down here.
And now it's right in his wheelhouse. Good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. With that ball sitting up, you can get it in high, you can bring it in low. The choice is yours.
Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. That was a nice birdie, and no doubt he's feeling pretty good about his position on this leaderboard.
A series of good holes in a row has got him to this point.
18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back. There's something about a well-hit shot.
That's a good start to the hole, right down the middle.
Second shot.
crucial eagle attempt on the way.
And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy. Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
Just a couple of feet. Yet another birdie, and on the march, 7 under for the tournament. Game plan here, Frank.
Oh, there's two really. That left bunker off the tee, it's about 265 yards to get it on the fairway, or 308 yards, 310 yards to run out there. I've seen players just try and carry the bunker, sort of set up a short iron, and I've seen players like Rory McIlroy just try and blast a driver with a hook on it. Both strategies have worked.
Good tee shot right in the fairway and plenty long.
Should be pretty good right there. On the safe side.
Just an excellent shot right there. About 5 feet away. Good chance.
Shouldn't be a problem here.
Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
Clean this up with a tap.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall.
Frank, you surprised to see that name on top of the leaderboard?
I am surprised to see the name, but not that style of golf leading. It was great performance. See people start that quickly.
This is EA Sports PGA Tour coverage coming up next. What really sets Quail Hollow apart here at the Wells Fargo Championship, the brutal finishing stretch. They call it the Green Mile. And we are excited to bring you all of the tournament action. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Novello. That is a really good tee shot right there, Frank.
I think that took the 300-yard mark.
Frank's second shot here at the par 5-7. You having a go at this one?
Yes, but you still have to respect the water and the trouble around. So anything slightly left of that flag is fine.
Not looking good, Frank.
I think it's wet.
Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him.
This is a 22-foot putt.
Go ahead and do that. What a putt.
And a 6, and a 7, and an 8, or a 9, actually. This is a potential scorecard wreck with the 7th hole. Many a tee shot has found that creek on the right, trees, problems on the left. There's no question there's a reward for a good tee shot here. But then there's a decision on do you go for this par 5 and 2. It's not overly long, just over 530 yards. It is very tempting.
Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
shot. We go at the 350-yard par 4-8.
Well, you're definitely going to love this one then, Rich, because it ticks all the boxes here. There's no water in play, just a few bunkers down the left and the one that protects the right side of the green. And you've got a really narrow green, so plenty of reward with minimal risk.
Good drive, Frank.
Rich, right now, this does not look like the same player we saw earlier on in the day.
I don't recognize him. He was hitting it all over the ballpark in the first few holes. I didn't think there was any chance that he'd be where he is right now. Credit to him. This took guts.
Yeah, his composure is so different right now.
Well, that's the beauty of this game. You stay with it. It's 18 holes. You keep fighting, and you can put a score on the card. Chance to close out the front side here with a birdie. Trying to make yet another birdie. Continues to amaze, yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. Just a superb performance on the front side. He's hoping to keep it going here on the back nine, Frank.
The game is so much easier when you're swinging well, putts are going in. Really, you've just got to keep out of your own way.
Oh, this looks good.
Certainly is. Oh, that's got to be 300 yards, isn't it?
Frank, we remember what Rory McIlroy did here in 2010. His first PGA Tour victory, a 62 in the final round. It was also the first victory for Ricky Fowler.
Yeah, and oddly enough, it was in a playoff. And in that playoff, Ricky just pulled out a driver and smashed it down there, then hit a sand iron to that front left flag. Basically the gimme distance. Not only did he win in the playoff, but he beat Rory McIlroy, the then world #1 in DA points. And that was the same Ricky Fowler that, remember, in the playoff in 2015 for the Players' Championship, drove the ball in equally daunting fashion over those 3 playoff holes at TPC Sawgrass.
Tough start to the backside, Frank.
Yeah, it doesn't bode well, too. You start losing confidence with the putter early on.
Wow, I thought it was going in just off the mark by a fraction. Just the tap in to finish the hole. Did the job right there.
Well, Rich, 2 rounds in the books, and it's easy to see why the leaders are on top of that leaderboard.
Excellent performance, but still a long ways to go in this tournament. This is EA Sports. PGA Tour coverage coming up next. And we welcome you to one of the most popular golf courses on the PGA Tour. It is Quail Hollow. We're in Charlotte, North Carolina, and Frank, it is just starting to heat up out on the golf course. Fans are streaming in, anticipating a highly contested event with the best golfers in the world.
One reason the fans love this course so much, Rich, the green mile. It's fine to have a good golf course, but it's got to have a great finish. It's got a great finish, then it becomes a great golf course. Quail Hollow has that great finish of 16, 17, and 18. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
That is how it's done right there. What an approach shot. Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. Frank, in today's modern game where players are hitting it so far, I always feel like one of the more exciting holes is a reachable par 5, and here we are at the 5th, 570 yards.
Yeah, this is reachable providing you hit a good drive. Otherwise, it becomes very awkward on the layup. You're sort of often threading the ball out of trees and just trying to find some sort of third shot. So to your point, big advantage with a good tee shot here.
It's nice to roll in a 25-footer now and then. Those feel good. But still, there's nothing like hitting that perfect tee ball. Long and straight.
Yeah, you can puff out your chest, last to play, the advantage, hole shorter. Basically, the list goes on.
Offline, and I think that one's headed for the rough. You wouldn't call that a miss hit, but it wasn't his best. That one just sort of drifted right and a long ways from the flagstick. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Pretty good stroke right there. Just hit it through the break.
Well, it's that sort of distance. If it goes in, it's a bonus.
Simple, solid, and he'll take it.
But one that you need to make.
Now set to tee off at the 6th. It is a long par 3, 250 yards.
We could take a little bit off for the downhill, but whichever way you look at it, it's still going to be a beefy par 3. Protected on the left by that front bunker, and if you sort of scoot one long, there's another bunker over there as well.
Just a case of a hole suiting the player's eye. Made the birdie yesterday, and he has a good chance to make another one today. Those are painful from that distance.
Yeah, just another one added to the card. Big mistake.
Frank, there's a lot to chew on here as you get to the tee at the 532-yard par 5/7.
In today's game, 530 plus change you think is incredibly short. And look at the trouble in front of you. Water all the way down the right side and around that right side of the green. Bunkers left. This is not for the faint of heart. I tell you, there's long and long. And that, with a little bit of breeze behind, it's long.
He rode the wind there to payday. He's going to have a good look coming up. I like the looks of this one. Well, he gave us a demonstration today why he's one of the best in the sport. Every green hit in regulation.
Oh, how did that miss?
Are you kidding me? I mean, that one was dead center. Par yesterday. Now for birdie. And it drops for birdie. Now to the short par 4/8 here at Quail Hollow, just 350 yards. Frank, players can lay it up and just hit a little baby wedge into the green, but why not go for it in one, try to make something happen?
I think both plans work well, Rich. This is one of those holes, the more you think about it, the more complicated it gets. You're going to lay it up, lay it up. If you're going to go for it, just aim at that tree and hit it down there. Just take your medicine.
Well, that's what separates the good players from the great players, the ability to get it that close from that kind of lie. Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knock it in for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it's going to hurt the course.
Well done. Here we are at the 9th hole at Quail Hollow, 495-yard par 4. Frank, it is the longest par 4 on the golf course. Is it, in your estimation, the toughest?
I think the green stops it from being the toughest, Rich, because it does kick in from either side. But when you see holes like this, there's no surprise why the Rory McIlroys and the Ricky Fowlers have won around here. This is just a great driving par 4.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball, and this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards. Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Certainly had enough power, just didn't have any touch.
Oh, that was solid, Rich. This one's safely on.
These putts keep the round together. Well, that's disappointing. He misses the par putt, and he'll have this for bogey. And getting ready for the putt.
In this situation, Rich, a bogey's not all that bad. Still has the lead.
Frank, that front page of the leaderboard has been looking good all week.
You're exactly right, Rich. I think our winner is certainly going to come from that list right now. I'm excited for tomorrow's final round.
Today's coverage brought to you by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Thanks for joining us. Round of the Wells Fargo Championship. Frank, what do we have out here today?
Well, if history has a chance of repeating itself, remember those great closing rounds by Rory McIlroy? That 62, that was one of the best rounds ever shot that year, back in 2010. And, of course, that playoff, too. Ricky Fowler back in 2012. We actually beat out then world #1 Rory McIlroy with that stunning drive down the finishing hole and brilliant wedge to a tight flag. This golf course, it can give it, it can take it away. But for us, from where we're sitting, Rich, we'll enjoy the view today.
No doubt about it.
Oh, this is right at it.
And a chance for eagle after that perfectly played shot. Makeable putt right here. He is currently sitting at 1 under for the round.
Give me a break, Rich. Your mum could make that.
Ooh, that's a disappointment, Frank. See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. Nice putt for birdie. Mark that as a birdie on the card. Frank, on this backside at Quail Hollow, a player does have a good chance to get off to a good start with that par 5 10th and now a relatively short par 4 11th, where a player with a good drive could stick a short iron in their hands.
Yeah, this is one you're going to have to make a decision. You can just play this as a straightforward dogleg left par 4 and hit a 3-wood or a long iron up there and 9-iron or something like that into the green. Or, if you want it, you can try and blast a drive around the corner. I don't know if that's the more prudent play, but it's fun.
That should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Frankie's knocking them down and picking them up.
Oh, it's just taking pins out, one after the other.
Locked in on the read and the speed. Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
And drops it in.
Here we are now at the 12th, and Frank, this is a beautiful but dangerous hole, par 4.
It is in a number of ways. The hole bends gently to the right, which you'd think would favor a nice little fade, but the fairway just seems to shrink up. I've seen this fairway missed by so many good players. And plus it's yardage, 450 odd. You can't really lay back too far, otherwise you've got too long for your second shot.
And now it's right in his wheelhouse, good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. With that ball sitting up, you can bring it in high, you can bring it in low. The choice is yours.
Just an incredible shot. That is a very makeable putt after a great approach. Well played. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either.
Rich, that just adds insult to injury to the rest of the field. Another birdie, and the gap even wider.
A sensational performance. Frank, which way is this headed?
Well, judging by his body English, looks like it's heading a little right. There is a bit of green out there, though.
Pretty good shot right there, about 10 feet away, setting up the putt for birdie. Now this for birdie came away with par in the previous round.
Great, too.
Beautiful.
Wow, Frank, this is a really good little par 4, isn't it, the 14th?
It is, and this is where one of those strong three-woods comes in. The last 50 or 60 yards as the ball kicks down and towards the left, and it sounds like an aggressive play, but like a hard three-wood trying to run it down there is actually not a bad play.
Is it drivable?
It is drivable, but it's whether it's worth the risk.
Oh, look out, Frank. Where's this one headed?
This is definitely rough, Rich, off the tee.
Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. Coming out of the rough and right up next to the hole.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business.
Just slides by.
Yeah, can't afford to miss too many of those out here today.
He has this attempt for par. No problems there.
Yeah, keeps the round going, keeps the momentum on his side.
Now at the par 5, 15th hole, 577 yards. Frank, you remember what Rory McIlroy did here in 2010, that final round, 62?
I certainly do, Rich. That was an amazing run on the second 9. And holes like this, too. He just stood up here with a driver and just obliterated it down there with a nice draw. Took those bunkers out of play and just set up a mid-iron.
Excellent start off the tee. That's a great way to begin this hole. Well, Frank, this is always a critical moment in the round. The 15th, the second shot to the par 5. What's your best advice?
Well, I'd actually look at the green first. You see there's so many undulations, humps and hollows on this green. So when you look now at that second shot, you realize it's got to be hit up very, very quickly and land in whichever specific section that you're trying to hit up. Oh, now that is going to hurt.
Not a gimme, but well within his range. Can't make it, Frank, if you don't hit it.
Hubert Green once said, 99% of putts left short don't go in. I don't know what happened to the other 1%, but...
At last, we have arrived at the start of one of the most daunting finishing stretches in all of golf. They call it the Green Mile, 16, 17, and 18 here at Quail Hollow. The 16th is a par 4, 508 yards, Frank.
And this hole was made even more difficult when they pushed that green further left to bring the water more in play with the second shot. I mean, it's a great par 4. It's strong in every single department.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
You can see a little bit off balance on the tee, and that one is going to be in the rough.
Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in.
Not too bad. It's about 23 feet away.
He didn't hit the flagstick, but he still has a chance. Missed on that one, Frank.
Yeah, not a problem.
This one just requires a little bit of focus.
That's a bogey, but still in the lead.
We start to see shots in hand really valuable.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
That will be a great look at birdie.
Made par yesterday. This one for birdie. Now to the finishing hole here at Quail Hollow. Frank, what can we expect?
If there was a name for this hole, Rich, it should be called Narrows. The creek that meanders its way down the left side and actually divides that hole into really half the size of what a normal par 4 should be. That makes it hard. The bunker on the right is your bail area, just over 290 yards to get past that. And then the narrowest green, it still sits up against the lake. This is just a brutal finish.
Stuck the follow through right there. This could be really good.
What a display of shot making this has been, Frank.
That incredible approach shot there. The easiest of birdies coming up.
It has all come down to this. A chance to win the Wells Fargo Championship.
Wow, what a putt. That is huge. Frank, year in, year out, the Wells Fargo Championship is one of the best on the PGA Tour. This year, it didn't disappoint.
No, it didn't. For a number of reasons, really. The quality of the field, Rich, but more importantly, from my point of view, the quality of the golf. Quail Hollow extracts the best out of a player. It demands it. And we saw that today.
For my partner, Frank Nobilo, and all of us here at EA Sports, I'm Rich Lerner saying so long. Until next time. NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the Players.
We're at the TPC Sawgrass in Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida for one of the game's most prestigious titles, the Players Championship. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. Back down now to hole number 6. As we catch up with today's featured golfer, Frank, what's the key to generating some momentum?
Just hitting good shots. I know it sort of sounds like the old cliche, but plenty of opportunities. A few 10, 15-foot putts start going down. This round will change dramatically.
That is massive off the tee.
Meters, yards, I don't care how you measure that. That's got to be what? 300 meters, 325 yards, something like that.
He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. And getting ready for the putt. That's a birdie to get to 1 under for the tournament. Frank, 7th hole here at TPC Sawgrass. How do you break this one down?
Not overly long, 440 yards, but once again, it's a tee shot. If you're driving the ball well, that's fine. You just sort of blister it down there, but you're starting to lose one a little bit to the right. There's 3 pot bunkers there, and of course, if you're fearful of it going left, there's the canal all the way down the left side that'll get your attention.
Nothing wrong with that one. How about 300 yards and in the fairway? Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Well, it looks as though they're going to need to use all their strength to sort of hack it out of that rough. Missing it off the tee here. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par.
Frank, how good was that just to get it on the green?
Well, from that shot there, you would have thought for sure that there was no chance he had of finding the green. That was some shot.
Frank, that looked good to me. That is a painful bogey at the 7th hole. Clean this up with a tap. So with that, the score is now at even par. Frank, this is a hole that I really like. The 8th, 237-yard par 3, just a necklace of bunkers surrounding the green. What's the best approach?
You come out through that chute or that hallway of trees there, and this being the longest of the 4 par 3s of TPC Sawgrass, the green actually plays much smaller than what it looks because of that narrow entry.
I mean, really on top of his game right now. That was a splendid approach shot. Shouldn't be a problem here. Made a good run at birdie. He'll have to focus now. Try to walk away with the par. Well, not in contention, but in for par. Frank, I think this is one of the most fascinating holes on the golf course. The 583-yard par 5 9th hole.
With technology now, a lot more players can reach this par 5 and 2. Gone are the days, but I remember when Sergio Garcia hit that 3-wood from, what was it, 270, 280 yards? Still one of the best shots I've ever seen.
Nice position, short grass, second shot. Frank, this is all about plotting your way around. Now the third shot at the ninth.
There's a reward for a precise short iron shot in here. If the pin's on the right or the left, precision pays off.
That is an excellent play right there. The approach, giving him another good look. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law. Even par, currently.
Nothing wrong with that par putt. Getting set now for the back nine here at TPC Sawgrass. Frank, what should we expect?
Well, there's a good run of holes. 10, obviously very birdieable. 11th, the par 5. 12th, the short par 4. A good chance to get this round really going.
Looks to be a good setup going into the green here at the 10th. Second shot now at the 10th. And again, Frank, accuracy is at a premium.
Yeah, gone are the days to sort of thrash it out of the trees like Phil Mickelson. Ideally, coming out of that fairway, you're hitting to a green that moves to the right. So that makes it a little bit more difficult than what the mind's eye first sees.
I mean, that's how the game is played, right there.
He's just making it look so easy. That birdie coming up, formality.
Nudge this one home, finish it up. Good putt, and now one under par. Don't forget, second round coverage coming your way tomorrow here on EA Sports. For our entire crew, I'm Rich Lerner saying so long for now. NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live second-round coverage of the Players. Hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo, coming to you from one of the game's most famous venues, the TPC Sawgrass, home to the Players.
And home of the Players, too. The PGA Tour professionals that play the tour, they basically run and own this wonderful venue. It is their championship, and it's one that each one of those players playing here this week would want to win. It might not be considered a major, but the Players, it is their championship. This looks like it's going to find the target.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. Comfortably inside the cut line, the young prodigy makes another birdie. Frank, how about this par 4 fifth?
I lost count the number of bunkers here, off the tee and sort of in play with the second shot if you're in trouble, or even the one that's sort of left and long. Really good par 4, though. Fairway somehow has to be achieved if you want to reduce this par 4 to just a simple two-shotter.
Well, those are good numbers right there. 3-2-0, 320 yards, just crushed it in the fairway. Now the second shot here at the fifth. What's the best play here, Frank?
If the flag's back right, there's nothing wrong with being in the middle of the green. Actually, there's nothing wrong with being in the middle of the green no matter where the flag is.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Frank going for another birdie here.
Chance to get on a real roll.
Well, at last, a birdie. Frank, you don't want to get too cute with that second shot here at the 6th.
I remember many a time, Rich, when they put the flag right of center. You try and hit a little bit too close, those palm trees all of a sudden come into play. Hits one of those, that ball can go anywhere.
Good contact, good result. Frank, why are great rivalries so important? Why do we love them?
I think because people like to sit on one side of the fence. You're either for or against a great player. And I think we see that today with Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy. There's the McIlroy fans that think his future is so bright. There's the Woods fans that still want him to pass Jack Nicklaus's record. That's the beauty. You've got to have an opinion, and you have to have a player.
A sensational shot right there, Frank.
Oh, you start beating your chest after a shot like that. That's the best we've seen into this hole today.
Well, after that birdie, has to be feeling his...
This page of the leaderboard, a couple more birdies. Oh, he's winding this one up. Does he have the power, though? Huge with a capital H.
Moved it a long ways. And now it's right in his wheelhouse. Good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. With that ball sitting up, you can bring it in high, you can bring it in low. The choice is yours.
Good-looking shot right here. Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie. Settles in over the putt. Needs a few more of those. That was a good birdie.
Yeah, this time, that one gets him in the top 10.
Frank, 17 here at TPC Sawgrass gets all the attention when you look at the par threes. Justifiably so. But number 8 is a daunting challenge in its own right.
It is. Longest of the 4 par threes. Plus, it's just littered with bunkers around the side, the back, and the front.
Birdie try up next. Little redemption chance here. Had bogey yesterday. Goes to 6 under par for the tournament. What a display of golf. Frank, what do you make of the final hole here on the front side, the 583-yard par 5 ninth?
Just depends on how much you want to risk here. If you hit a good drive down the right side, it's certainly gettable for 2. But you can make an absolute mess here at 9.
I mean, he just blasted it down the fairway. Well over 325. All right, the approach shot is on the green, but he'll have a very testy putt coming up. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Be very happy with that one.
Yeah, lag putt, I mean, really, it's unrealistic to try and make those. So anytime you can 2-putt from there is a good result.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. There you have it, Frank. The second round is complete. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think anybody looking at this leaderboard, anybody in the top 10 of that leaderboard is certainly in a good position to win. Quality of the golf there in that first 10 is excellent.
NBC Golf Channel on proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. It's third-round coverage of the Players. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
Just a good solid tee shot right there, about 280 yards. Frank, where's the difficulty on this approach here at the 10th?
It's really the shape of this green. That little front piece, you have to be right on the money there. And then, of course, that green starts to open up and then move to the right.
Sit down. Get down.
Oh, this is going.
Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him.
Par yesterday. Out the birdie. Really hitting on all cylinders now. 9 under for the tournament. Now to the 11th, par 5.
Good tee shot, and then you certainly think about hitting a hybrid or a lofted fairway wood into this green that's really narrow, one of the narrowest on the golf course. There's a little pot bunker left of this green when you go for 2 that often swallows up that second shot if it's a little bit too conservative. But there's a lake there. Seen more than one ball splash in the pond over the years.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. This shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards. And this is looking really good. Well, he gave us a demonstration today why he's one of the best in the sport. Every green hit in regulation. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Just a couple of feet. And with that birdie, moves to 3rd place. Here now, the 12th hole at the TPC Sawgrass. It's a 358-yard par 4, so short on the card, Frank, but obviously a challenge. What's the key here?
Once again, trying to find that right position on the fairway, and that's down the right side. Anything down the left, that mound is going to block your view. That's an absolute beauty.
This drive down the left side, Frank.
Yeah, it creates a blind second shot because of the mounds in front, so a little bit of guesstimation coming up here, but still only a short iron.
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
With that birdie, moves one shot closer to the lead. Hole number 13 here at Sawgrass. Tricky 181-yard par 3.
You don't have to hit directly at this flag. When that flag's at the back there, you can use the contours. When it's on the left, once again, you can use the ridge in the middle of the green. Matter of fact, one of the hardest hole locations is when it's in the front right, because that's when you have to be perfect. Oh, this is heading in the wrong direction.
Uh-oh. Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. Shot now from the rough. Frank, what's he facing?
Well, the lie first and foremost. If it's sitting down, then obviously you're not going to get a very good contact. Nothing wrong with coming up a little bit short of the green. Problem is turning one mistake into another.
Nice approach shot. He'll be happy with that. That's a solid par. Still in it, Frank. Heading to the final 18.
Yeah, to be in the top 5 right now, the caliber of this field, know that your game is good enough too, and a legitimate chance of taking home the trophy come tomorrow night. This really is what all those hours on the range contribute to, this moment right now.
NBC Golf Channel.
Missiles, all with water in play, and we've seen just about every scenario possible over the last few years. Today, we get to add to it.
Headed for the bunker? We moved that one out there, but he is not going to like the lie.
That moved down in the rough.
Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here.
That is professional with a capital P right there.
That's stealing.
Now to the 15th, and Frank, I know this is a hole that you really like.
Yeah, it gets no respect in my book, which I think is a shame. Just a nice dogleg to the right, and really 2 good shots, and a 3 here, which is actually a rarity. It sets you up for those closing 3 holes. Too often people just take 15 lightly. And 15 has just a gentle nibble that turns into a bite. Oh, that's it. New member of the 300-yard club.
Good poke right there. Right in the heart of the fairway. Green light special. Well, this one should be safely on deck here. And a chance for eagle after that perfectly played shot. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read.
Great effort, a little too strong. Didn't take the break.
He's got a birdie chance now coming back. Starting to put it together right now, Frank.
Join that trio at the top.
Frank, not to plant the seed of doubt, but we must deliver the facts here on this telecast. 44 balls in the water a couple of years ago, 28 last year.
Rich, that's the announcer's curse. What will he do?
This won't hurt him. Just a case of a hole suiting the player's eye. Made the birdie yesterday, and he has a good chance to make another one today. Not this time. Got it for par. Now to the 18th hole here at TPC Sawgrass. 462-yard par 4, Frank, and another example of visual intimidation from the designer, Pete Dye.
Those wooden bulkheads that go all the way down the left side of 18 give you like an optical illusion, Rich. And there's not a single fairway bunker on the right to give you something specifically to aim at. So you've got to fixate on one of those trees. This is not a hole where you want to be looking at anything other than a specific target.
This one doesn't look good.
There's water over there.
Just averted danger right there. So close.
Why does he have all the luck?
Could really use this one. It's for birdie. Moves into second place with that birdie. Frank, it was a great setting with great crowds. We saw plenty of very good golf. Your thoughts?
Well, I think the course really extracted some of the golf that we saw. It forced these players to play just some great golf, and it wasn't just like a pitch and a putt golf course. So I think seeing the guys tested, seeing the players tested at this level, it was a treat.
NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. It's the opening round of the Peach Invitational. And we pick up action at the fourth. Early in the round and playing reasonably well. Nothing great, but has certainly not given a whole lot away.
Yeah, and actually a good position to really springboard the round from here.
That is a fantastic long shot.
There's no way he could hit that without a tail breeze. Surely that breeze had to help there.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. Pretty long putt right here. You'd be happy to get it to within 2-3 feet. Well, Frank, it's our job to get excited.
You can't when you leave it short, though.
I'm sad.
He's making my job hard.
Locked in on the read and the speed. So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite right.
It's no snack, though.
Not quite enough on that one, couple of feet short.
Yeah, hopefully he taps it in. Not his best, but hopefully it's just 2 putts.
Oh my goodness, how did he miss that? This one was just a nightmare from the start, and now he has this for triple bogey. So with that, 3 over par now for the round. Back on the tee here at East Lake, 5th hole, 520-yard par 4. Frank, so many different lies in golf. This is one you don't see too much. The golf ball is on the mulch.
Yeah, and it never really sits up, so this is one of those ones you've got to be much more conservative than you'd like to be. Play for the fat of the green.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par.
Can't hide the flagstick from that man. Three over for the day. The 6th green here at East Lake Golf Club, tracing back to the original Tom Bendelow design that opened back in 1908, built as the green for the par 5 16th. A Donald Ross rerouting 5 years later made it the target for a par 3 on the front 9. Good looking shot right here. On the green and looking at a birdie opportunity. You can see why this player has been compared to a young Rory McIlroy, featured golfer making birdie and now sitting comfortably inside that cut line. This is a really good par 4. Dog leg to the left, 434 yards here at the 7th at East Lake.
Oh, it's fine.
Over the years, this golf course has hosted so many national and regional championships, including the 1950 U.S. Women's Amateur, the 1963 Ryder Cup, and 2001 U.S. Men's Amateur Championship. It is now the permanent home of the Tour Championship by Coca-Cola, the culminating event of the PGA Tour playoffs for the FedEx Cup. You cannot hide the flagstick from that man inside of 5 feet. Frankie's going for 2 birdies in a row.
If he can knock this one in, then that's certainly going to help the confidence.
So 1 over par for the round. Here at the 8th, again, this is not an especially long hole, but it requires some thinking. It's a strategic golf hole, 405-yard par 4, and it doglegs to the left, so position is key. Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing. Not a problem there, Rich.
Getting set now over the putt. Needs a few more of those. That was a good birdie.
Yeah, this time that one gets them in the top 10.
Second round coverage coming your way tomorrow. For our entire crew, I'm Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. So long for now. NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live second-round coverage of the Peach Invitational. To where the hole is cut, just about 190 yards, Frank.
Safely on deck.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie. Even par currently.
So into the top 15 on the leaderboard with that birdie. A few more, and who knows, maybe top 10 or top 5. Now to the par 4 12th. It's only 391 yards, so Frank, where could a player run into some trouble here?
It's actually the green here, Rich. The whole hole slopes downhill, and when you look at the second shot into this green, it looks like it pitches back to front. But that's that's an optical illusion. When you get onto this green, it's actually relatively flat, but you'd swear the green slopes towards you.
Superb shot.
Well, that's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knock it in for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it's going to hurt the course.
Good, solid par right there. Now down on the tee here at the 13th. More 476 yards in a par 4.
And now you're playing straight up the hill away from East Lake, so you can tack another 30 or 40 yards onto this hole. 2 bunkers down the left. There's only a player or two in the field that could actually fly that second one. So it will play as a dogleg left. And also that second shot, you're going to have to add at least another club or two for that uphill going into this green.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Birdie try up next. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Almost. Wow. Just a little too much juice on that birdie putt, Frank.
It was bold. Very bold.
Simple, solid, and he'll take it.
But one that you need to make.
Let's keep it going now at the 14th, 442-yard par 4. Backing up that long 13th hole, we now arrive at the 14th, and this, too, is a challenging par 4, Frank.
Tough fairway to hit because of the pitch from the left side of the fairway to the right side of the fairway. No fairway bunkers to worry about, but if you watch the Tour Championship over the years, you'll find the majority of the field live in that right rough. It's the most difficult part of playing this downhill par 4. Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie. So a tester from 4 feet. That is some good work right there. Birdie and 1 shot closer to the lead. 2 rounds in the books, Frank, and a good spot from which to make a move.
Yeah, well positioned. Really, if you're leading, it's a different pressure. Being in the chaser pack there, playing well, what a great position to go into with 2 rounds to go.
NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live third-round coverage of the Peach Invitational.
Oh, I liked that.
Excellent drive, Frank, right where you want to be. Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here. Appears to be tracking well. He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. Frank starting to make the move.
Leaderboard very volatile at the moment, so a lot of move in that middle piece of the leaderboard. Top 20 so far.
Well, Frank, here we go, the par 3-6. What a hole.
Visual intimidation, the utmost here. All you see is water, and somehow you've got to take the attention away from, well, where the fish go to find where that flag is. And you'll notice that green is just tilted a little bit to the right as well. Anything just slightly.
Thank goodness, Frank, back on dry land here.
As long as this one avoids it.
So this will be the third shot after taking the drop with the ball going in the water. Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Has to be pleased with that. An approach shot within 12 feet. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Frank, this has been an absolute mess today and all week long.
You said it best.
Well, Frank, we've made it through the sixth unscathed. And here we are at the seventh hole. And a little movement to this par 4 goes to the left.
Exactly. The first hole that actually shapes that way at East Lake. There's one bunker down the left side, that short bunker not in play. You would think you'd want to draw it off this tee, but really the best access to this undulating green is down the right side.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Good, clean contact and a nice result. And a chance for birdie coming up.
Now it's at sneaky distance.
That looked for all the world like it was dead center.
I've got no idea how that missed.
Clean this up with a tap. Frank, that's a par, and onward we go. Hole number 8, now another dogleg left set up here, 405 yards, par 4. Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
Oh, looked like he caught a flyer right there, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he caught, but this is way too much.
Just averted danger right there. So close.
Why does he have all the luck?
So close.
And yet it still counts for another shot.
Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. That is a solid par putt. To finish off the front 9 now, we are on to the first of 2 par 5s on the course, measuring at exactly 600 yards. That's an absolute tracer right there. In the fairway and well over 320 yards. Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Big swing right there. A great result. And now a chance for a big swing in momentum with an even coming up. It happens sometimes, Frank. They don't all drop.
No, but you try telling them right now.
Well, the time is now to start making birdies, and there we go. One on the board and suddenly inside the top 20.
Yeah, nothing to be ashamed of in that, but really, you've got to be aggressive from here on in.
NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports in association for the FedEx Cup. Today it's live final round coverage of the Peach Invitational. Frank, that is position A.
Yeah, the tee shot was like silk, Rich. I mean, just sets up that second shot so beautifully.
Get down. Look out.
It's over. The green.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here.
You like this one, Frank?
Oh, it's a good one. Safely on.
Nothing wrong with that par putt. Now we're at the par 5 15th, and it's only 525 yards, so obviously a great chance to make a birdie, maybe even an eagle. But if you stray off the tee, you could walk away with 6. Those are good numbers right there. 320, 320 yards, just crushed it in the fairway. This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I'd say.
Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths. Settles in over the putt. Good putt. View of the Atlanta skyline and East Lake Golf Club. The fairway narrows to 25 yards in width, 278 yards from the tee, making driving accuracy a premium on this long par 4. From here, a mid to long iron is needed to reach the green. 2 large bunkers await errant approaches into a large receptive green that slopes yet again from back to front. Now it's right in his wheelhouse. Good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. That ball's sitting up. You can bring it in high. You can bring it in low. The choice is yours.
What a shot. I mean, almost in. Just a little tap in here.
Tension.
Now the 17th hole here at East Lake, 455 yards, made famous a few years back by Bill Haas, who splashed one out of the water left of the green on his way to winning the FedEx Cup Championship. Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par.
Moves into second place with 18th hole here at East Lake is a par 3, 235 yards to the green. Can't hide the flagstick from that man. So a tester from 4 feet. Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
Doesn't dig into the lead with that par, but Frank, sometimes, and you know this as well as anyone, you just have to kind of maintain your footing out there. EA Sports and the United Hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside my friend and colleague Frank Novola. We are back in the state of Pennsylvania getting set to kick off the round here at one of the great golf courses in the world, Oakmont Country Club. Frank, you're very familiar with it because you were right in the mix down the stretch at the 1994 U.S. Open right here at Oakmont.
And Rich, it's so good just to be back here. You know, there's so much history in Oakmont. It's been a host to so many prestigious tournaments in our sport, such as the U.S. Amateur, the U.S. Open, the Women's U.S. Open, and the PGA Championship. It's just one of the true gems on the golf landscape.
That is a fantastic long shot.
There's no way he could hit that without a tail breeze. Surely that breeze had to help there.
This is a good-looking shot. Frank had hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
You wonder what he's thinking on that.
Well, that's what the great ones do. From the rough, they use their skill and their strength to get it out and get it close. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Frank, not exactly the kind of putt you want to start off the round.
Yeah, it looks like first hole nerves. Just needs to shake it off, take the bogey, and he's going to have to start again on the next.
Well, with that drop shot, moves to 1 over for the tournament. Relatively short par 4, second hole. Frank, what's the right play off the tee here? It's probably not driver.
It certainly isn't. You need a decent yardage in for your second shot, so you don't really want to hit it past those last of the 6 bunkers on that right side. It leaves a shot of 100, 110 yards. There's another tee box a little further up where they can make it like drivable at 265 yards, but for such a short hole, this is sort of a fearsome one. You always feel like you're making a mistake when you're putting the ball on the tee.
Frank looks like maybe the greatest bunker player of all time right there.
Well, he's making a name for himself today. You could certainly put him up there with Gary Player, Severiano Ballesteros. That was just a great bunker shot.
And with that birdie, moves into second place. Frank, this hole, the third at 428 yards, has been a part of the U.S. Open story for a long time, for obvious reasons.
Yeah, it's just a great par 4. It's a typical U.S. Open par 4 that challenges in between the ears as well as the swing and the execution itself. The second shot, slightly uphill. You've really got to break this green into 2 sections. That ridge in the middle, anything past that, everything funnels off and towards the back of this green. Anything short of that, well, it actually goes towards the front side. So very difficult from tee all the way through to the green.
Oh, no, look out, Frank. I think he flushed that one.
Oh, this is going, gone.
So from the rough back to the fairway, that's the right way to go.
Yeah, didn't take the bait, and at least now he's only going to play the price of a poor tee shot. Still got a good chance, though, getting away with par. Well, just a little too much, Rich.
I don't know if it was wind at his back. He didn't calculate it, but he's going to be left with a difficult chip shot here.
Another good swing, another good approach shot. Even par currently.
Well, you're not going to make that putt all the time, but you'd like to at least get it to the hole.
If he keeps putting like that, he's going to be an announcer in no time.
So, 2 over par for the round. And now let's go down to the action at the 4th. Frank, you know this. You can't win a tournament in the first round, but you can lose it. As we catch up with our featured golfer, they need to turn this around just to make the cut.
And turn it around now.
Excellent start off the tee. That's a great way to begin this hole.
Second shot. Oh, that's off the beaten track. That's got 5 minutes to find it.
Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in.
Well, it was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back?
Frank, what's the best way to get at the golf ball when it's sitting down just a bit in the rough?
You have to accept the fact, first and foremost, that you're not going to get clean contact. So you have to decide whether the ball's going to come out short or it's going to fly. Because very rarely will it come out the normal distance of what you hit on the fairway. So if it's a little thin and wispy, chances are it might fly. If it's nestled down, you're going to have to take at least another club.
So that wraps up another round here at historic Oakmont Country Club in western Pennsylvania. One of the most demanding in the game. EA Sports and the United States Golf Association are proud to present a national. It's live second round coverage of the U.S. Open Championship. Now to the par 5 fourth. It is 609 yards. Frank, this has been pivotal in past U.S. Opens.
Yeah, it certainly has. A good drive here, there's a chance to go for the par 5 and 2. A bad drive here, finding the church pews or the bunkers on the right. More often than not, you're pitching out sideways. Totally different proposition.
Oh, looked like he caught a flyer right there, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he caught, but this is way too much.
Just averted danger right there. So close.
What is he able to allow?
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Comfortably inside the cut line, the young prodigy makes another birdie. It's a nice little hole, Frank. 382 yards, par 4, fifth here at Oakmont.
You can't really hit a driver or a 3-wood down here. You're going to run out of fairway. Plus, there's no real advantage. Hole starts to shrink up here. Just got to play it as a 2-shotter. But it's easy just to blaze away with an iron. If you hit an iron at a US Open off a par 4 tee, you better hit it in the fairway.
That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards. Second shot on the 5th here at Oakmont. Good, clean contact and a nice result. And a chance for birdie coming up. Made par yesterday. This one for birdie. Well, once you're on the green, I think you know this. The idea is to keep it on the green. This one's on the fringe. Solid par right there.
They're doing a good job. Nothing wrong with being in the top 10 right now. I don't know if they can win from there.
Frank, you played the U.S. Open and nearly won it back in 1994 at Oakmont, so you remember this par 3-6, the 194 yards. It's changed a bit since then. How?
It has. They've actually made the green a little bit bigger, and how they managed to do that, they took away a bunker that used to be behind the green a little on the left side. It's not really made the hole any easier, but it still suits like a little bit of a cut. And there's something that starts on those left bunkers and works its way back towards the middle of the green. The reason why that's a better shot is because the slope of the green goes in the opposite direction. So it's one way to keep the ball straighter. Rich, that was some shot out of the rough. I really didn't think he could even get that on the green.
Well, just to get it on the green, as you say, I think is a big win. So frustrating sometimes on the greens, isn't it? Drop shot here at the 6th. And getting ready for the putt. That's a bogey. Here at the par 4 7th at Oakmont, it's 434 yards.
What a great shot.
Nice long tee shot there and a good lie, Frank. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
This is for his birdie. Needs a few more of those. That was a good birdie.
Yeah, this time that one gets him in the top 10.
U.S. Opens, Frank, as you well know, you've played in so many of them, are supposed to be demanding and tough. This is what a U.S. Open's all about. A par 3 and nearly 300 yards. That's the 8th at Oakmont.
It's not just the length too, but this is a typical Oakmont green, which means it's not easy. There is an option though, if you can't reach this green or at least fly it on, you might get a lucky bounce to kick forward. You'll see a lot of people chipping from around the front edge of this green, and there's no shame in that.
Wouldn't call it a great approach shot, but it still ends up in the fringe.
A little bit of magic from here. The hole's not over.
So he didn't hit the green in regulation, but he still has a reasonably good chance to save his par, about 10 feet away. Shouldn't be a problem here. Oh my goodness, he missed it. He missed a bunny. That's like missing a layup in basketball. Just a little tap in here. So another bogey on the scorecard. And Frank, what happened this week?
I think it's a week to forget.
Out of the 9th, and in case a player has forgotten somehow that he's at a U.S. Open, the 9th will remind him very quickly that this is the national championship. This is demanding. Wow, that is a monster drive down there, about 315 yards. Frank, it's always fun at a U.S. Open when you have a shot that could be described as not only tough but quirky, and I think this would fit the bill.
It is, because the green really was built for a par 5, and when you look at the size of it, you can say, well, why would a green that big be built for a par 5? Well, half of it really is unusual because it's a practice putting green, but it has hole locations, like just over the bunker on the right, that really designed for a par 5. So as a par 4, somehow, if you can thread it through that gap and take 2 putts, this is one of the harder greens to putt on too. This is a stout par 4 to finish the front 9.
Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
That was not a very good read right there.
It's no snack, though.
Frank, how do you explain what we saw here?
It's a mess. It's probably the easiest way to put it. This is a case of anything that could go wrong, not just probably, it did.
EA Sports and the United States Golf Association are proud to present a national championship. Today, it's live third-round coverage of the U.S. Open Championship.
This looks like it's heading for the bunker.
Sometimes you get breaks, and he got one right there.
Yeah, I guess the bunker was a little smaller than I thought it was. It looked doomed for that.
Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knock it in for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it's going to hurt the cause.
Well, that's just a case of not focusing right there. What a lapse in concentration. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. So what... The reason Oakmont has hosted so many U.S. Opens, Frank, as you well know, is it has a really good blend of holes, and now we come to a short par 4 at 358 yards, the 14th.
You can see the predicament in front of you, bunkers left and right, but really the bonus here is on the fairway with just something like a long iron off the tee. This is one of your best scoring opportunities at Oakmont.
Up with the big boys now, Frank.
Well, we saw that previous tee shot go 310. This one's further.
That should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Midway through this back nine, could use this birdie here at the 14th. Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. Wrong time to be leaking oil here at the 14th hole, Frank.
Well, to state the obvious, too, that was very makeable. That's the one you'd expect to make more often than not. That's going to hurt.
Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Well, that hurts. So just a formality here. Simple, solid, and he'll take it.
But one that you need to make.
Here at the 15th, a long par 4 at 499 yards. Frank, what are you looking to do off the tee?
Tee shot here is very similar to the one back at the par 5, where the fairway slopes left to right. And then the second shot's going to be uphill to a green that's actually built in the opposite direction. This is a tough par 4.
Good tee shot right in the short grass. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. Just want to nestle this one down to within a couple of feet. Looks like he just misread that.
Now it's at sneaky distance.
Wow, that's disappointing. Chance to get too deep on one hole, and you leave it short.
Well, the good thing is he didn't miss it, right? It didn't go past the miss. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We'll never know.
Okay. Still has a chance for birdie, too.
Right, okay. I like that. It's a positive attitude.
Yet another demanding hole here at Oakmont. A par 3 16th, 231-yard par 3. Frank calls for a well-struck long iron.
It certainly does. It's going to favor something that's hit a little higher and a little softer. If you could just mentally cut this green in half and just sort of look at the left half of this green, that's really the best way to play this hole. And the reason why is the general contours all move to the right. That ball can still funnel down to the right side of the green.
Birdie try up next. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. You couldn't ask for much of that except to make it. Lining this one up for par. It has been that kind of week, just a few too many pars. We're coming down to the wire here at the U.S. Open Championship at fabled Oakmont, and the tension's starting to build. And Frank, this is decision time at this very short 313-yard par 4.
And normally in a U.S. Open, Rich, you'd think the prudent play would be left. You perhaps could drive it on the green, be putting for either. But even out of one of those bunkers, you've got to think you're even money to get it up and down. I like driver here.
A bit unfortunate in the bunker, Frank.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what his bunker play's like.
So getting set for a greenside bunker shot. Frank, when I think of the great bunker players in the history of the sport, I think about Gary Player, Seve Ballesteros, whom you knew so well. What did they do that made them so effective on these greenside bunker shots?
They had an attitude for a start that was different. For them, it was they saw possibilities. And they would imagine the amount of sand. Remember, because this is the only shot in golf where you don't have to hit the ball first. So they would really choose the amount of sand behind the ball, whether that was an inch or two. Aim the club at that and made sure they followed through. And an awkward little bunker shot, just splash it out, let the ball run towards the flag.
Not enough on that one.
Yeah, just seemed to baby it.
And setting up here in the rough. Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
Nudge this one home, finish it up. That hole certainly got the best of him. Triple bogey. Frank, you know this as well as anyone, having competed in and contended in U.S. Open championships. An 18th hole at a U.S. Open is supposed to be tough. A par is supposed to be hard won. This has all the elements of a great finishing hole, doesn't it?
Yeah, I don't know if you could use the word fair, but you would say it's a just finishing hole. It's right, because it extracts the best you'd ever want to see out of a champion. Someone that can basically stand on that tee, gather their thoughts together, thump something down the fairway, then come up with a second shot that's nearly as challenging as the tee shot, and then somehow two-putt. You do all that with the lead, you deserve to pick up the U.S. Open trophy.
This won't hurt him. That one inside of 10 feet, really dialed in. Birdie putt coming up. The par on this hole yesterday. Frank, I'm sure it feels good to get some red numbers on the card, but this tournament is probably too far out of reach at this point.
Good question.